Howdy, Jim. You know, I just watched a video the other day from our good friend Doug DeMuro, and he's reviewing the 2024 Mustang GT. And I gotta tell you, it kind of made me want one. It's probably going to be the last V8 front engine, rear wheel drive, gasoline, no electrification, manual transmission. Really kind of makes me want one. Boy, the last time Ford did anything that made me really want one of their products would it be 25 years prior to that? 1999. That's when Ford came out with the Super Duty pickup truck. And I was working for the movie studios, and I think it was 98. The V10 Triton came out in vans, and I think 99 was the first year for the pickup truck. Well, it came out, and it had a Triton V10, and it had a live axle front end on the four-wheel drive trucks with leaf springs. I knew it was the last of the old dinosaurs, had to have it, so that's what we're riding along in today. So this Mustang fantasy, it could happen. Just sit through the commercials and you'll help me get my new Mustang. Oh, and if they come out with I saw a rendering of a Mustang, 2024 Mustang station wagon. I'm telling you, if they come out with the station wagon version, a two-door, I'm so in. I'll be first in line. I've already contacted Ford and told them to let me know when they start taking orders. Anyway, today I'm going to fix this beat up old truck. She is a beaut. Pretty low mileage for being a 99. It's got some pretty rough paint on the hood. And we're going to just clean it up, and I'm going to pretend that I just bought it today for $2,500, and I'm going to fix it and do all the maintenance that's been deferred. Come on. You'd pay $2,500 for this, wouldn't you? So what we have here is a custom-made back bumper, and that is an 8,000-pound electric worn winch under a cover, of course. And then these little holes, these box cutouts, are so you can use a farm jack or a high lift jack in this hole in order to jack the truck up when you're off-roading. So it's an easy jack spot. It's got nice dent, 35-inch tires that are pretty worn out. I'll look for the date code soon, but I know it's going to need new tires. The paint job is just really bad. This is from where I painted it once to look like fake rust, and a little bit of that is still left. This paint on this hood is pretty much decided to vacate the premises. Yeah, baby, Triton V10. And it's also got a custom bumper on the front with a 12,000-pound hydraulic winch. That winch actually operates from the hydraulic forces using the power steering pump. It's a pretty neat thing. It'll work underwater. It can run it all day. It won't really overheat. And under here, that's what I really was attracted to, this crazy leaf spring front end, like the old Conestoga wagons. And then the solid axle. It's like the rear end of older cars, but this is the front end. So, yeah, this is the last year for this kind of an old-fashioned, simple setup. I'm going to say something has been living in my bumper. Sorry, dude. It is in reasonably decent condition. It's just really dirty, and we're going to take care of all of that today. It's just been neglected. And here we can see it was manufactured in February of 99, so this is an early 99, and it is 8,800 pounds gross vehicle weight. That is too much for my little lift. My lift is rated at 6,000 pounds, so it's going to just be too heavy. I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way with jack stands and a floor jack. There we go. Okay. It's pretty dirty. Oh, look how discolored this expansion tank is. I'm having trouble with these connections. Sometimes it just pretends like it's not connected at all, so I have to clean those. Oh boy, look at that. Look at that serpentine belt. Let me zoom in if I can. Look at that serpentine belt. It's got string sticking out of it, and it looks like it's cracking. Okay. Yeah, needs some help. Okay, while I'm waiting for it to cool down so I can start out by cleaning the engine compartment, I guess I could start washing the exterior, but I have made a list of stuff that I already know for sure that it needs. Obviously, I'm not going to get to all of this today, but I'm going to get a good start on it. I'm not being attacked by any mosquitoes because the Bug Gobbler 3000 is on the job. So I want to stop and show this to you. This is as I'm washing this hood. Watch all of the paint chips go flying. Oh. Poor paint. Well, this is why I gave up washing this thing a long time ago. Because you wash it and it doesn't look any different. It looks exactly the same, just as dirty as before, because all of this is paint and stain. And what I did do is I knocked off a lot of the loose paint on the bumpers. Look at this front bumper. A lot of spots where the bumper's starting to rust under the paint, so I'm going to be doing bed liner on my bumpers. And a quick disclaimer on these F450 badges. This truck came out of the factory as an F250, and I had it for about 3 months when a Teamster on one of the studio lots drove away, and the side door to his box truck swung open. He hadn't latched it, and it hit my truck, my brand new truck. Oh, he was so worried I was going to be mad. And his truck he was driving was an F650. And I said, don't worry about it. Just trade emblems with me. And I was just kidding. And then I went out of town for probably 6 weeks. And when I came back, he had swapped out all of my emblems for these F450 emblems. And he glued them on, or stickered them on or something. So it's an F250. Thanks, Dave. My buddy Dave did that. But in here, I should be able to make this look a little bit better. I mean, come on. That certainly does look a little bit better. Check out my bug find. I blew a lot of the bug debris out of and this is like 5% of it. All the rest of it blew out and is all over the ground. But look at these things. This thing's pretty big, and that's like from the Jurassic era. Okay, engine bay clean. So now what I'm doing is I'm completely unloading this truck. I'm taking everything out of all the compartments, everything that's hidden away underneath the seats. There's a power amplifier here for, I believe, the CB radio, and then there's an amplifier under the seat over there for the radio, which doesn't work. So what I think I'm going to do, and this table shows everything that I've taken out of this truck so far. Everyone needs 25 flares, right? Oh, and this emergency survival kit, it's really amazing. This is the food, and you can't even really read. It's all worn off, but then there's water, but I think it all expired in like the last century sometime. Yeah. Oh, hey, look. It's got an emergency AM radio. I have to get that out and see if I can catch anything on it. So I think what I'm going to do here, so I can thoroughly deep clean this thing and maybe get rid of some of this electronic stuff that's no longer current and valid in this truck. Current, get it? I'm going to remove the front seats. So it looks like they're just bolted in, probably front and back as normal. These are not electric. Everything is manual on them, so there's no plugs or anything like that to deal with, and there's no airbags, there's nothing. It should just be bolts and out the seats come. And now it's raining. I had to grab the bug gobbler. That's one of its downsides, is it's made of cardboard, so it wouldn't last very long in the rain. Back in business. So as you can see, I got the 2 front seats out, and I found some really interesting stuff inside this truck, so I'm gonna have to go through all that stuff another time. But getting these seats out, the front bolts were not Torx bolts. Let me show you. They're kind of like Torx bolts, but I got them out using a T55, but it didn't quite fit it properly, so I'm glad they weren't that horribly tight. The rear mounts were 19 millimeter nuts, and they were covered by a plastic cover, and this is goes underneath the seat here when this is in its proper position. And then there's one more hidden bolt on the back side of the center console in order to get it to lift out. And I removed the radio thing. Oh yeah, and there was a plug here. I guess that's like the sensor for the airbags to tell if someone's in the seat. Although I'm not quite sure, because I didn't see any leads leaving the driver's seat, so I'm not sure how the passenger seat one is supposed to work. Anyway, I'm not going to take out the back seat, I don't think. I'm going to continue cleaning this crap out and start doing a deep clean and a vacuum in here. I'm going to shampoo the carpet, and then I'm going to take these covers off, obviously clear off the rest of this table, and then I'm going to do a deep clean shampoo of the seats. And I am going to still use covers after the fact, but I'm going to clean them all real good first. You know, overall, these seats aren't bad at all for a truck this old. This is the driver's seat. There's a few little burns there, it looks like. But the rest of it, I mean, come on. The bolster even looks pretty good. So, it's dirty. This center console is... It's dirty and stained, got a couple little burns maybe. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and put a little bit of fabric detergent, just a little bit, and a soft brush, and then some water, and I'm going to just go over all of this upholstery and do a real nice, easy, gentle upholstery clean, and hopefully get rid of a lot of this grimy stuff. The soft brush should be able to get into some of these creases. I mean, the actual material is still in pretty good shape, and clean out the interior, that's really pretty good shape as well. So just a good deep cleaning. Well, that worked pretty good. Nice and clean. And I worked this from the top to the bottom and just kept rinsing and rinsing until there was no more of my detergent coming out. The water came clear. I'm just using Resolve carpet cleaner. That's it. And I just rinse and rinse and rinse till the water comes out clear. And I did all the sides. Really, a lot of brown water was coming out. It was really dirty. So I'm pretty sure once this dries, it'll look quite a bit better than this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this center console as best I can and this seat, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Yeah, that's dirty, that's clean, yay! There has been a lot of coffee spilled on this seat over the years. Another little trick I'm doing here that seems pretty effective is I have leveled this plastic tray lid, leveled it fairly well, and then as you can see I placed water in it, and it sits right in front of the bug gobbler and it attracts mosquitoes. They like the water, and I think they see the reflection and they come down to check out the water, and zoop, in they go. Adios! I did remove the back seat after I cleaned the front seat setup, and it looked so much better and so much dirt came out. I just went ahead and pulled this out and did the same to it, and it's just out here drying and it looks so much better. And the same goes for my floor mats. Cleaned up the logos so it looks all nice and fresh. And then my seats, which are also still drying, of course. But what a difference. That's excellent. Okay, so on that note, look at that, the center console, all those stains are gone. You know, not much I can do about these little burns, but that's all right. But now I'm going to start doing in here. So first order business after I clean out the rest of these loose bits. So I'm going to come in here and vacuum. Also, you might want to add a little bit of soap to it, just a little. That way the surface tension is gone, and any bugs that do land on that water will sink and drown, so we get an extra killing bonus. All right, here we go. I got my little dry vac here. Good luck. Well, that certainly looks better, but removing all of the bits and pieces, a lot of the bits and pieces and debris has certainly made all of the stains much more noticeable. So what I'm going to do here is I've changed out my dry vac for a wet vac here, and I'm going to go along and I'm going to take a section, like I'll start with half of this maybe, or just this section here, and I will apply some of my Resolve carpet cleaner, and then I will use this little jewel which has got some cleaning fluid in it, and I will go in and wet it and spot clean it with the brush, and then I will use my pressure washer to come in and rinse the area, and then I will use my dry vac or my wet vac to suck out as much of this liquid as I can in that area, and then just move on and eventually cover the whole thing that way. And hopefully I won't get it too wet. Hopefully I'll be able to get her dried out, because it looks like Hurricane Ian, I think it's called, it's gonna, right now it's looking like it's gonna nail Florida pretty good. And then it's possible that on late Thursday into Friday of next week that we're going to be getting hit with quite a bit of rain. So I want to make sure that this thing is buttoned up and dried out before any of that starts, because it's probably not, well, I might have it inside the garage. We'll have to see, but it's something to think about. Ian's coming. I am going to do this spot right here. So this is our before. That's after one go round. It's definitely much better, but you can still see some of the stains down there, and like right here, there's a good one. But what's interesting is as I'm washing this, you can see a lot of the dirt rising up out of it. And this has been vacuumed many times over the years, but I used to go to Death Valley all the time and lots of places in the desert and do serious four-wheeling, but all the dirt that's coming up out of this carpet has washed over this mat here like a sluice box. And all of this heavy stuff is still in there. I wonder if there's any gold in there. Junkyard gold. No, I think that name's already taken. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the interior. Got a fan set up inside. It looks a lot better. Check it out. It's not perfect by any stretch. You can still see some stains, but it's probably 80% better than it was. Lots of dirt came out of it, so we're just gonna let her dry, and I'm probably gonna wait to put the seats back in until maybe tomorrow. We'll see how that shakes out. Meanwhile, I'm gonna start really scrubbing the heck out of these door panels and get those taken care of. Ooh, but wait. Here's something you don't see every day in a garage in California. I went to grab my hammer here, and when I moved it, it was stuck, and I realized what it's stuck to is a snake's shedded skin. That's its head. You can see its eyeball, and then it goes all the way back, wraps around all the way back by that cord back there. So I'm going to try to extract it in one piece, but it seems like it's stuck to the hammer, so it probably won't work. I did get him out all in one piece. Pretty cool looking. And all the way to his little tail. Not quite sure what it came from, but I don't see any real changes down the sides in the colors like you would expect if it was a copperhead. I'm not really sure how it works, not being a reptile specialist, but if I was to guess, I'd say this is probably off of just a regular old black rat snake like I've seen around here a few times. And when you measure it, pretty good size. Here we got down there right about to the where its head is. Go all the way up here. Come on, focus. Okay, well, anyway, there we go. If you stretched out his tail to the end, he would probably be about 46 inches long, maybe. So, pretty good sized. I wonder if it's one of the ones I've seen before, because I saw one in my garage before. Oh well. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll do another installment when I do more work on the old girl, but it'll be soon. Because she's not going to go anywhere until I get all this repair work done. So it'll be in the next week or so.